Perfect. All right, Alyssa, thank you for that. And Alyssa, if you want to go ahead and get started, I'll just welcome you all to the September meeting. We appreciate you being here. And then Alyssa will go through a little bit of the nuts and bolts about how to participate, and then we'll get started. It should be a fairly quick meeting. So, all right, Alyssa. Oh, now it doesn't want to work. Of course. There we go.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. And if you have any questions tonight, some ways to participate, you can raise your hand using the raise your hand function, or you can type your question in the chat box. So we'll be monitoring that throughout the night. And if anyone's dialing in, I don't think anyone is. If you are, you dial *9 to raise your hand, and then dial *6 to unmute yourself. And then we do have Spanish interpretation available. Si alguien necesita interpretación en español, por favor escriban en el chat sí que lo necesiten y lo puedo aprender y puedo interpretar en español para ustedes.
Alyssa, do you have to do the interpreting?
Yeah, if someone does need it, yeah, I do.
Oh, goodness. Okay, I didn't know you wore many hats around here.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get started. Just a little bit of information for those of you who are new. I don't think, Sergio, I don't know if I know you, but I'm Bianca Marchese. I'm the vice president of the Willard Neighborhood Association. Irene is off having fun at a football game tonight, so we miss her, but we wish her well, and we're glad that she's taking some time to be with her family, so that's awesome. We do have something coming up in October. We'll share about that in just a minute, but we do need volunteers. If you are available and willing, we have a big event coming up in October, and there's some information on the screen to connect with us. You can either email or call the info line. We're also very good about posting on Facebook and on Instagram. And then I know all of our neighbors are pretty good about posting things that are happening on Nextdoor. So I appreciate people taking the time to do that, because it's good to be informed of what's going on in the neighborhood. So thank you for those of you who do that. We worked in August to refine our mission statement. We thought that it would be really helpful if we had a mission statement so that we knew when we had opportunities come to Willard, what it is that we stand for, what it is that we want to do as a community. So our mission statement is the Willard Neighborhood Association's goal is to make our neighborhood better through safety, beautification, and community activities. And the order of these words was really intentional. Our number one priority is safety. We, throughout the city, I know that there have been some issues, but specifically here in Willard, we heard about last month, a shooting that happened not too far away. We're seeing gang activity in the neighborhood, and we want to make sure that we continue to have a safe community where we can take our dogs for a walk or ride our bike through the community. So that is what we are here to do, make our neighborhood better through safety, beautification, and community activities. So we had a garage sale weekend over Labor Day, and we had a dumpster out there. I know that some of our neighbors were able to take advantage of that. Some of our neighbors were also able to come out and volunteer to just kind of man that dumpster, make sure that people weren't throwing stuff away that they weren't supposed to throw away. And I wanted to let everyone know that the next dumpster day will be Saturday, and garage sale weekend will be Saturday, December 4th from 9 a.m. to noon. So if you have any big items or anything that you could use a dumpster for, can you hold on to that until December 4th? We definitely don't want to see those out on the street, just dirtying up our neighborhood. Certainly that is not our intention. All right, also, if you are not aware, the Willard track and basketball courts are now open. It's really nice to drive down the street and see people playing a pickup game of soccer or walking around the track, or just, enjoying the outdoors now that it's hopefully starting to get cooler. I hope it doesn't heat up again. But the track and the courts are open Monday through Friday, 6 to 9. some Fridays and weekends, there will be soccer games that are organized. And so we won't be able to use the soccer fields when those are happening, but by and large, they are open for us to use. And like I said, we're so thankful. We know that the lights absolutely detract from mischievous activities in the neighborhood. So it's really nice, like I said, to drive down Parton and not only see the neighbors using that area, but to also have the lights on, because it absolutely detours people from doing things that they shouldn't do. Any questions? Okay. And then Gay, I'm going to actually throw this to you, and we didn't talk about this, but I want you to talk a little bit more about this if you don't mind. We have something that is coming up in October. We're really excited about. Our first event as a Willard neighborhood was really successful. It was a backpack giveaway for our students. And our next event, we want it to be now let's see if I can do it. Tardeada de Música y Arte. So we want to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month by having a wonderful activity. We're hoping at the Willard Tree, but Gay, I'm going to throw it to you since you've kind of been spearheading this. Maybe you can share a little bit more about it.
Thank you. Buenas noches, everybody. My name is Gilly Wilson. I'm the treasurer, the secretary of this wonderful organization. And yes, we're very excited about having our first family event. We couldn't have concert in the park because we don't have a park. We couldn't have movies in the park because we were too late. So we had a brainstorm and we decided to have a music under the tree. So Irene and I have been working diligently with these staff over at Willard Intermediate. And it appears that it's moving quite quickly and it's moving along. We're going to have what you call a tardeada. And basically that is just an evening of music. We're going to we have went ahead and hired a band, a live music band open to the community. We're going to have performers, Willard students. We're going to have art on the lawn. So we're going to encourage families to come out, bring your lounge chair, and just have an evening of music and celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month. As soon as we knock down the date, it's tentatively October the 3rd, Sunday. It'll be on a Sunday afternoon. We don't have it set in stone just yet, but save the date for a Sunday afternoon in October. We love to see you. We want you to come out and have a night of just some, fellowship, music, and art on the lawn.
Very, very excited. And thank you, Gay, for spearheading that and all the hard work that you've done in getting that underway, for sure. And we need volunteers for that. It's going to take a whole army of us working together to pull this off. And we want to do it well, because like I said, our first event was very successful and we want to make sure that this one is just as successful, but we can't do it alone. And there's only a handful of us right now that have been working on it. But if you are at all interested, please reach out, ask your neighbors. I don't know, we'll tell them that if we have planning meetings, we'll feed them. I don't know, we'll do something to make sure that we can get people in to help us, because we definitely need the help to make sure that this is a wonderful event for our community and our neighbors. Next up, Saturday, October 23rd, the city of Santa Ana is sponsoring a 5K. It is free and it's right by our neighborhood, so we can walk there. It's right by the Santa Ana Bowl. It is free, but you do have to register. So if you are interested in that, there's more information on the website that is at the bottom of this slide, santaana.org /SA5K run. So I'm assuming, Alyssa, that if you are not a runner, that doesn't mean that you can't participate. You can absolutely walk. You can bring your kids in your strollers, whatever you need to do. Just come out and move with the family and move with the city and have some fun together walking through our streets. Did I miss anything there? Alyssa, you probably know a little bit more about that than I do.
No, yeah, that's great. Yeah, I mean, anyone can walk, or jog, run. So yeah, sounds
Perfect.
fun.
Yep, should be fun. Hopefully it's cool. It's early in the morning, so it shouldn't be too hot yet. So that's fantastic. This is huge, huge, huge news. As we know, I'm so sorry that my dogs decided right now they need to bark. At the last meeting, the last city council meeting, Irene and her son were able to go and speak on behalf of the Willard Association. And the council, this particular piece of land on the corner of 10th and Flower was up for discussion. And the council was going to decide whether or not to sell it or to hold on to it and designate it for something else. And fortunately, the council they voted to not sell this parcel of land. In fact, and Alyssa, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're even looking at purchasing the parcel next to it to possibly create a park. Because in Willard, we don't have any green space other than the middle school. And those hours are limited for residents to use because of course the students get first pick at that. And so it will take a little bit of time to get this park underway, but we're very, very excited that the council was able to see that we needed a green space and recognize that was important for us. So when you drive by this empty lot, think good thoughts because we want to get a park in here as soon as possible for our kiddos in our community. And it'd be a wonderful place for our families and kids to gather and just enjoy the neighborhood. We do have the Willard Park, but there's no green space. It's just equipment for the kids to climb and play on, but there's no real green space. So that's a huge, huge win for the Willard Neighborhood Association. All right, like I said, this is going to be a quick meeting. I do want to open up any comments or questions. I know we have Officer Prieto here. If anyone has any concerns or wants to talk about anything that they've seen in the neighborhood. I know, Gay, something that we still want to work on, and Officer Prieto, this relates directly to you, is we want to get a group of people along with some officers to walk the neighborhood to make sure that anyone who has any ideas to do anything bad, tag, or whatever the case may be in the neighborhood, we want them to know that we have the police backing and that we're not scared, that this is our neighborhood and we're proud of who we are and where we live. And we don't welcome people making bad choices in our neighborhood. So Gay, did I capture what you were thinking with that?
Yes, that's my vision. My vision is just, and I'm sorry for the helicopters over my house right now. Yeah, that was my vision actually, to kind of build bridges with the Santa Ana PD and just walk the neighborhood with flashlights and the kids and just let them know that we're going to take back our neighborhood, right? We're going to take back our neighborhood, and we want to be a safe neighborhood. And I think it sends a good message. There's been this whole thing with the Tardeada going on that I haven't really focused on that yet, but I did get cooperation from Santa Ana PD that they would definitely send a couple officers out. And so our board has to just kind of finalize the details and the route. And yeah, you have it spot on. That's exactly what I want to do.
Perfect. Any questions or comments about that? Anyone, or even Officer Prieto, if you have anything you can share specifically about the Willard neighborhood, we welcome that.
Are you guys able to hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea. Because any type of deterrent is a great tool to minimize, obviously, gang activity and tagging in the neighborhood. This being visual and being, eyes out there for us as well, being able to call us and let us know what you guys see. If you guys see a group of, gang type that are hanging around, or, you see someone tagging, it's good to see that and then let us know right away so we could get officers out there as soon as possible. But yeah, working in that partnership with us, I mean, that's huge, because as we both know, I see a number for everyone, what number to call. If it's non-emergency, you're going to dial 714-245-5600. 8665. Once again, that phone number is 714-245-8665. And that's our non-emergency line. And by all means, if there's an emergency, if you see someone with a gun, by all means, dial 911. That's an emergency. But if you see like a group of gangsters hanging around the corner, you see someone tagging, then dial the non-emergency line, and they'll dispatch next available officer to go out there, and hopefully we could catch them in time.
Officer Prieto, I happen to live on the corner of 10th and Parton. And
Yeah.
I don't know if this is happening down by you, but I know at this particular corner, probably 2 or 3 times a week, somebody's doing donuts in the intersection. A few months ago, we had an uptick of people speeding for some reason between Civic Center and 17th on Parton. People think we're like the Autobahn or something. It's so fast. And I did notice that a strip had been put out to, I'm assuming, measure how fast cars are going and how many cars are going down the street. I don't know if that was the officers or if that's the city. I'm not sure who did that, but I'm thankful so that we can have an accurate idea of not only how fast people are going, but how many cars are actually using Parton. Anyhow, a couple months ago when I was saying that people were using Parton as I let you guys know that they were using it as like an autoway or a freeway. You guys were able to increase patrol in the neighborhood, and that really cut down on the number of people speeding. I don't know what's happened, but it seems like that patrol maybe has decreased, and now people are thinking it's okay to do donuts and, I don't know, skid out on that corner. It's very dangerous. There's a lot of kids who play right here on this corner, and there are lots of cars parked there. So I'm just waiting for one of these days when they're doing donuts, they lose control and hit one or more cars. So
I'm sorry, is this happening at a specific time in the morning or after school?
it's in the evening, actually. It's late evening. I would say usually about, I don't know, between 10 and 11. Because I'm usually getting ready for bed, and that's when we hear it. And
as soon as you see any cars that are speeding through the area, by all means call that non-emergency number. And actually on the weekends, we actually have they're called a street task force, and they target street racers.
Okay.
And so that's their job. They're out there from 9 until 3 in the morning targeting street racers on the weekends.
Good.
So, but even during weekday, if you see that type of activity or hear it, by all means call that non-emergency line, and they'll send an officer out to investigate.
Okay, fantastic. I mean, I see it everywhere. It's not only on this corner. I see, you can see the tire marks where people are doing, the donuts or whatever. It's gotten a little out of control on this particular corner. And like I said, I do know on Parton, for some reason, they like to speed between Civic Center and 17th, or between 17th and Civic Center. For some reason, Parton, they just think, okay, let's go 60 miles an hour. And there are people walking and families, and we have a produce truck that's parked there. So people are walking across the street. And so I just pray that it doesn't happen. But one of these days, I'm just waiting for the sound of someone getting hit or a car getting hit. And it's terrifying to think.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, if you hear, street cars coming down, definitely give us a call so we could put a stop to that. I noticed someone mentioned about rivalry, and they're crossing out other tagging. The best thing to do with that is also call the non-emergency line. And what you can do as well, there's a Santa Ana app, and there's a section where you could hit graffiti removal. So what you do is you take a picture of the graffiti, and the city will come out and they'll paint over it, so you don't see the graffiti anymore. And it's on the same.
Yes. Will they do that on private property as well?
I'm not sure. That's a good question. I would still put it through.
Okay.
Because if it's on private property, whoever is in charge, whoever the property management is, they could also send it and and give them pretty much the authorization to paint over it.
Okay, fantastic. Yes, I've noticed, I don't know who's on the Galaxy A42, but I've noticed the same thing. There's definitely been an uptick in graffiti. And I have actually used the My Santa Ana app. It's fantastic. I noticed some graffiti on 17th Street. I took a picture in the morning on my way to work. I was stopped. Officer, don't yell at me. I promise I wasn't being unsafe on my phone in the car. But I will say that within 24 hours, by the next morning, it was gone. And so I was very impressed and noted it definitely works. You guys, I don't know, I don't think it's you, but the city is definitely monitoring that and getting people out to get rid of that graffiti and get it cleaned up. So I very much appreciate that.
Yeah, great tool, that Santa Ana app. If you guys haven't downloaded it, I highly recommend it.
Yep, I agree. Absolutely.
Bianca, regarding that speeding trailer, that was Public Works. So we asked one of the traffic engineers there to have it set on that intersection. Is that something that you would be interested in having again?
Yeah, I would love that. Because people, like I said, are peeling out, they're doing donuts on that corner, on this corner again. It's just, like I said, I'm waiting for one of these nights when a car is hit, or God forbid a person, because they're doing it late at night, and you know, they're clearly, they're reckless. They don't care what's going on around them. So.
And then it's the corner of Parton and 10?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. All right. Thank you for letting us know about calling the non-emergency line for gang activity. That's good to know.
Yeah, anytime.
All right. I think we are at our last slide. So if anyone, yes, I'm sorry, I don't know who you are that's raising your hand.
I don't know why I didn't put my name on there, but this is Teresa Rivas.
Hi, Teresa.
Hi. I'm glad to be here, and thank you very much, Officer Prieto, for your attendance.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it. And you know what? I'm very much in tune with what goes on my corner. Very, very much. And there's definitely a new and increased gangster presence, and they're like young adults. And I know that these street gangsters get their orders from on high prison gangs.
Yes.
Yesterday, I shooed some away from my window, and they saw that it was coming from my unit, so they took a picture. But I told them I had a camera, and that loitering is not allowed, and that they didn't belong here, and that cops respond immediately to us. And then they called me a pig. So then I told them, well, when the cops come here, you can address them as pig also. See how far that gets you. But let me tell you, there's something going on, and I've noticed that there's been more murders, not on this, in this surrounding area, but in Santa Ana, there's an uptick. Is there a gang war coming up, or what?
No, what you're seeing right now is, you know, it has that cycle, you know, where there's an uptick of gang activity and then it lulls out and then it picks up again. So a lot of times the way a rivalry starts is, you know, oftentimes they go to a party and there's a rival gang, and say that rival gang ends up talking to one of the other rival gang's girlfriend. And a lot of times that's how these rivalries start, is over, you know, a simple fight like that. And then obviously retaliation starts. You know, if one shoots back at the other one's going to go to his neighborhood and shoot at his neighborhood. And so it's an ongoing, you know, rivalry where, you know, we have many specialized units that are out there 24/7 trying to put a stop to it. And, you know, myself, I'm part of the directed team. So we're like the day gang unit team, where we're out there, you know, we're looking for, you know, any type of gang activity, any suspicious activity in all areas of the city. We're citywide. And same thing with, you know, our gang unit. They go out there in the evening, and then we also have, you know, our MET team, which is our major enforcement team that goes out there as well. So we always have, you know, overlapping schedules. So there's always a specialized unit out there that's targeting these type of gangs and these type of activities. So we try to minimize as much as we can, but obviously, you know, we can't be everywhere at the right time, at the right place.
That's,
So
we know.
so it makes it tough, and that's why we need the help of the citizens of you know, Santa Ana. When they see these type of activities, that, you know, if they see a group gathering of, you know, of gangsters, or they see, you know, someone that could possibly be having a gun, that is the time not to keep it to yourself, but to call us. And do not engage. I don't recommend engaging with these with these gangsters, because you never
Absolutely.
you never know, you might get a brave one that doesn't care and decides, you know, to retaliate and assault you, or, you know, worst case scenario, shoot you. And that's something that we do not want. So what I would recommend is this, you know, calling us right away and give a good description of who these gangsters are, what they're wearing, and what they're doing. And then that way, you know, the responding officers could get a helicopter up, and then we could respond with numbers to catch all of them.
Right. I intend to keep a documented log with times and descriptions, because I know darn well that the police cannot respond just like that. Now, I wish to start a hot rivalry between these new appearance of gangsters and the police. I have got, in years past, I've gotten excellent, awesome response from the gang.
Excellent. And that's, and you know, I don't know if you have the gang units hotline. There's a hotline that you could also reach
Oh,
out to. If you have any tips?
Post
Yeah.
it, because I lost my pen.
Yeah, well, we have our non-emergency line, but there's also when you call that non-emergency line, they could connect you to the tip for gangs. Like if you want to tip off, you know, any information to gang investigators about any gang, and they could work it up. So
Right. Now, I know you do pay attention to the intelligence gathered.
yes, I do, and most officers do. You know, we're definitely looking out at the graffiti, who's writing what on which wall, and which gangs are you know, very active right now.
Well, right now I saw a KPC. Absolutely, that's ongoing. That's a very common one. All of a sudden, I'm seeing F Troop.
Yeah.
Whether that's F Troop or not, I don't know.
Well,
F group, we're pulling it back to the early 90s. Holy cow.
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were still around.
yeah, they're still around, and if F Troop is marking up in KPC territory, then KPC probably pissed somebody off from F Troop, and you'll definitely see KPC going to F Troop area, and there'll just be a rivalry going back and forth. So that's why I said, if you see any type of gang activity, or if you see any you know, large gatherings, definitely give us a call.
Yeah, I think that F Troop presence is very, very telling and noteworthy.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Anytime.
Officer Prieto, can you provide that gang unit hotline number?
Well, when you call that non-emergency line, they'll connect you to the tip line.
Okay.
There's a line that they connect you to.
Fantastic. Teresa happens to be my neighbor. So Teresa, do you want to say anything more about the people doing donuts? Have you seen any of the cars, or do you just hear it like we do?
Yes, and you know, usually I'm the neighborhood Mrs. Kravitz, and I didn't get to the window in time to look at the vehicle.
That's totally fine. I was just wondering. Like I said, we heard it and we were getting ready for bed, and we were like, oh man, they're gonna hit somebody, but they took off. Thankfully didn't hit anybody or anything, but
Yeah.
it's definitely getting bad again. I know, for, like I said, for a while it was better, and now it's getting bad again. So,
And actually, do you know that last Friday we had the Willard school kids right on our lawn? They had a fight, but I took a film of that and I talked to the principal, and she wanted the video, and she's really good.
Yes,
She said
in
she
fact,
took care of it.
Officer Prieto, just so you know, that did happen Friday right after school. A big group of Willard kids came and were fighting. My nephew did see it. He happened to be home and he let me know. And my husband actually works with the Santa Ana High School football team. And I was at the game and I actually talked to one of the Santa Ana, Teresa, this is good for you to know. I talked to the Santa Ana Unified Police Department, one of their officers, and she said that by the time the game started at 7, they had already found 2 of the kids that were the instigators.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But the principal got in her car and there was other parents that also reported it. She said she got several calls. That was great. We're keeping an eye open.
Yep. Definitely want to make sure that kids are staying safe. And the funny thing is I'm a school administrator and kids don't realize that schools are responsible for them until they reach their home. And so if they are en route to their home from school and have not yet made it home, they are still our responsibility. So kids think that, oh, I've left school property, I can have a fight and I'm not going to get in trouble. That is not true.
Right.
So a couple kids found that out last week. So good for them.
Yep.
Well, you know what? I know it saddens me of this gang fight activity or whatever, but I really, our board, Willard WNA, I really hope that we can kind of come together and find some solutions to prevent that from occurring. You know, we can't prevent it all, but at least reduce that count, you know.
I agree.
I like to talk to them and say, what do you fight? I mean, why are you so angry?
Well, you know what? A lot of these,
That's the core. And maybe these parks are a good outlet, you know, it's that sports activity, you know, maybe that tardeada is a good thing. I like to think more positive because they're so young.
Yes.
And if we can grab them at 12 and 13, because I'll tell you, I have 6 boys and one's already 10. So my goal is to prevent that angle, right? Going down that path. So I need that educator. There you go. I need you to tell me, you know.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
You know
A community center. I guess they can come in and I don't know. Just
Gabe,
it breaks my heart that
a lot of these gangsters that are coming in, they're not our local people. They're out of our territory coming in.
Well, we will keep an eye on them and we'll definitely let Santa Ana PD know so that they can also be aware and step up patrol if they're able to and get it under control.
Thank you.
Of course. All right. If there's nothing else, last bit of business is to let you all know that our next meeting is Monday, October 11th. It will most likely continue to be on Zoom, just out of an abundance of caution. But we are hoping to be back in person before the end of the year. So just know that if something changes before the October board meeting, I'm sorry, not board meeting, my apologies, association meeting, we will let people know, but otherwise plan on October 11th, 6:30 on Zoom. Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your input and your feedback. Teresa, I appreciate that you're my neighbor because I know when I'm not here that my place is safe because you're always looking out. So very much appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Good night, everyone. Stay safe.
Bye, everyone.